You know what no one tells you about losing motivation? It doesn't start big, it starts small, subtle. It's that moment when you hit snooze. Again. It's when you stop replying to texts because you don't even know what to say anymore. It's that voice in your head whispering, "What's the point?" And before you know it, you're not just unmotivated, you're numb. You stop caring about your goals, about your health, about your dreams, about yourself. But here's the truth you need to hear. Motivation doesn't just come back by waiting for it. It's not a feeling that shows up magically one morning. It's something you rebuild, one small action at a time, one decision at a time, one promise to yourself that you actually keep. And if you're in that dark space right now, if you feel empty, lost, tired of fighting, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not lazy. You are not weak. You are exhausted from carrying things alone. Let's break this down. When you lose motivation, it's not about lack of discipline. It's not about being unproductive. It's about being disconnected. Disconnected from your why. Disconnected from your own needs. Disconnected from the version of you who used to believe things could be better. Think about it. You didn't used to be like this. You used to try, you used to care, you used to dream. But then something happened. Maybe it was a breakup, a failure, a betrayal, a moment when everything crashed and you never really recovered. Or maybe life just wore you down, slowly, silently, replacing your fire with fatigue. But whatever the reason is, let me tell you, it is not your final story. You are not finished. You are not too far gone. You are in the middle of a hard chapter, yes, but chapters are not permanent. The 3 truths that will pull you out. 1. You don't need motivation to start. You need a reason. Motivation is not the engine, it's the result. People wait around for motivation like it's a bus. But motivation doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who move. You want your motivation back? Then stop chasing motivation and start chasing meaning. Ask yourself, what do I want to wake up for? What's one thing in my life worth fighting for? Who do I want to be proud of me? If your answer is, I don't know, that's okay. Start small. Get out of bed for you. Go on that walk for your sanity. Apply for that job for your future self. Clean that room for your peace. Because once you start moving towards something, even something tiny, motivation begins to stir. Motion creates momentum, and momentum brings back belief. 2. Your emotions are not your instructions. This is big. Just because you feel tired, unmotivated, sad, doesn't mean you have to live according to those feelings. You are allowed to feel everything and still move forward. Let me say that again. You are allowed to feel unmotivated and still act like someone who gives a damn. That's what discipline really is. That's what strength really looks like. It's not the loud, hyped-up energy. It's the quiet choice to show up for yourself, even when your feelings tell you not to. You don't wait until the rain stops to go outside. Sometimes you just grab the umbrella and go anyway. And when it comes to rebuilding your life, it works the same way. Your emotions can ride in the car, but they don't get to drive. 3. 1. Win at a time. When you're feeling down, don't chase big goals. Chase small victories. Make your bed, drink a glass of water, send one email. These things seem stupid, insignificant, but they're not. They're called keystone actions. And they remind your brain that you're still in control. You want to rebuild motivation? Start here. Win the morning, even if that means just brushing your teeth and changing clothes. Win the next 10 minutes. Not the whole day, just 10 minutes. Win one promise to yourself today. Just one. Why? Because confidence doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your brain takes notes. It starts to believe you again. And that belief, that's the real fuel of motivation. Pause for a moment and remember this. This is not the first time life knocked you down, and it won't be the last. But look at you. You've survived heartbreaks that felt like they'd crush you. You've endured silence when you were desperate to be seen. You've endured silence when you were desperate to be seen. You've kept going when your legs were shaking, when your heart was breaking, when no one clapped for you. You know what that means? You don't need to find strength, you already have it. You just forgot. Because the weight got heavy, because the path got dark. But even in your darkest moments, a flicker still lives in you. And that flicker, that tiny light, is all you need to begin again. Let's be clear, getting your motivation back isn't about hype. It's not about watching a video or reading a quote or having a perfect morning routine. It's about honesty, radical, unfiltered honesty. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What have I stopped doing that used to help me feel alive? Who or what have I let control my energy? And then, here's the hard part. Take one uncomfortable action, even if you don't feel ready. Because here's the secret. You don't need to feel ready. You need to feel willing to try, willing to fail, willing to show up again and again until the fog lifts. If you spoke to your friends the way you talk to yourself, would they still be your friends? Think about that. You beat yourself up for not being motivated, when what you really need is grace. You're not lazy, you're wounded. You're not failing, you're healing. You don't need another voice tearing you down. You need one voice that says, I'm not giving up on you. Be that voice. Be your own ally, your own coach, your own champion. Speak to yourself like you'd speak to someone you love. I know it's hard, but I'm proud of you. We're going to do this one step at a time. You're allowed to rest, but not to quit. Because the truth is, if you don't stand up for your life, no one else will do it for you. Let me be direct with you. You've been asleep, not literally, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You've been moving through life like a zombie, doing the motions, checking the boxes, surviving the days. But inside, you've been disconnected from your own fire. You know it, you feel it. That version of you who used to dream bigger, try harder, feel deeper. She's in there, but she's quiet now, numbed out by the weight you've been carrying. And listen, I get it. When life knocks you on your ass, when the plans fall apart, when the people you trusted let you down, it's easier to shut down, to stop caring, to shrink, to tell yourself stories like, it's too late, I'm too tired, what's the point? But that's a lie. That is your fear talking. That is your exhaustion talking. That is not you. You are still in there. And this is your wake-up call. You don't need anyone else to save you. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need a moment of truth, right now, this very second. You get to decide that your past does not get the final word, that your emotions don't get to be the boss of your life, that this low point is not a dead end, it's a turning point. So, take a breath, take your power back, and say it with me. I'm done waiting. I'm done hiding. I'm done giving up on myself. Because you were not put here to live small. You were not born to just exist. You are here to thrive. And that thriving, it starts the second you stop abandoning yourself. Look, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be strong every day. You don't need to fake positivity when you're in pain. But you do need to fight for your own life. Nobody else can do that for you. Not your partner, not your parents, not your coach, not your friends. This is your life, your responsibility, your comeback. And if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. This is the moment you wake up and say, I've got one shot at this life, and I refuse to waste it feeling sorry for myself. Let me talk to the part of you that feels like giving up, the part that's tired, bitter, fed up, the part that feels invisible, disappointed, behind in life. I see you. I know what it's like to look at your life and feel like everything is out of sync, like the best version of you is buried under layers of pain, procrastination, and pressure. You look in the mirror and wonder, what the hell happened to me? But here's what I need you to know. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just human. You are allowed to have seasons of burnout. You are allowed to not be okay. You are allowed to fall apart. But hear me loud and clear. You are not allowed to stay there. You have people to love, a future to live, gifts you haven't even discovered yet. So today, we stop negotiating with our fears. We stop trying to be the version of ourselves that everyone else expects. We stop waiting for permission to care about our damn lives again. And we choose to begin. No, it won't be perfect. No, it won't be easy. But it will be worth it. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, feels better than showing up for yourself when you were ready to quit. So, let's break it down. Start where you are. Use what you've got, do what you can, and do it again tomorrow. You rebuild your motivation by living like you're worth the fight. You are. Even on your worst day, you are. So promise me this. that you'll stop talking yourself out of your potential, that you'll stop calling your dream too late, that you'll stop living like your best days are behind you. They're not. They're right in front of you. But only if you move, only if you rise, only if you look your reflection in the eye and say, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many times I fall. I'm not quitting on me. Because deep down, you know it. You were made for more, and it's time to go get it. Let's go.